Conscious Collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, change makers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Emily.
And I'm Michelle. And we are the Conscious Collaboration.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be back. I had to be out from last episode, but I missed everybody. What is up?
Happy to have you back, homie.
Yay.
We were channeling you in the last one, just so you know.
We were.
Channeling.
I was Michelle a few times, if any of the listeners could tell.
So we've got kind of a different episode today. We're just going to do something a little short and sweet. We wanted to announce a couple of things and then go through a quick Ching reading with Lisa and kind of explain a little bit more of that, how it relates to feng shui. So Emily, you want to tell them a little bit about what we have planned for this new group of the Conscious Collaboration?
Yeah, definitely. So we've got our Facebook group. It'll be a place where we can all gather in digital community, talk about things that we've talked about on the podcast. It'll be a forum to ask questions and give comments, and to meet others who are listening to the podcast as well, and potentially to interact with some of the guests that we've had on the podcast. It'll also be a nice platform for us to be able to share some of the other content that we do, both as individuals and collaboratively, so that you guys have access to some more things. And I think the I Ching reading that Lisa's going to do for us today will be a good little preview for some of the types of content that you'll be able to get within our Facebook group, because she can certainly do live energy readings and things of that nature. So, Lisa, do you want to just give us a little review of what the I Ching is for any listeners who have missed that?
Yeah. So, okay, just to recap, the I Ching, it's spelled I Ching, but we say Yi Jing is the proper pronunciation. And it's the ancient book of changes. It is a book that is at the foundation and at the roots of feng shui. It's also a book that inspires people who study psychology. Carl Jung is one. And it tells us the story of nature in an environmental science sort of way. So the reason why we went out, over 4,000 years ago to explore nature was to find out how we can live in a very turbulent world and survive all the seasons so that we can sustain our cultures, make sure that we can survive any threats, floods, predators, and be able to overcome these elements with ease and live in peace and harmony with the earth rather than fighting against it all the time. So the I Ching is something that we look at in a divinatory way, meaning we can ask of it as if it were an oracle, a question, and look at you can use the ancient methodology of using a coin toss of Chinese coins or any coins for that matter. You can use reeds. I like to use cards when I'm doing these energy readings live because they're fast and efficient. But then you reference within the book the material that tells the story of the hexagram that results. And the hexagram is, if you know the Chinese characters, the 6 lines on top of one another. And you compare the hexagrams that are generated against each other to see where there are lines that change, meaning the energy is unstable. And
so if anybody wants to get some further information on any of the reading that you do today, they can just Google the hexagram numbers that you pull, right?
There's a lot of websites out there. iFate's one of them. Like a lot of the astrology sites have gravitated towards the I Ching. You can search it on Instagram and find some information about the hexagrams I'm sharing today. You can just Google them and I'll explain how to do that. But then you can also visit us in our Facebook group and learn a little bit more about this as well and ask some personal questions. But today I did Divine of the I Ching to talk about what we can do, what are our intentions within this Facebook group, and what is the energy moving forward. So we're so excited to launch it, and we really want to make sure it's a place where everyone can show up, feel seen, heard, and valued, but also get a great deal of benefit. And what resulted were 2 hexagrams. The first one is hexagram number 8, which is the energy of holding together. And
That's perfect for 8/8 and Lionsgate energy coming up, isn't it?
Ooh, it is. Yeah. It tells a story of water above and earth below. And very beautiful imagery here, water above the earth. So we know that water can make earth muddy. So that tells me there's a lot to do with communication within this story. The second hexagram is hexagram 26, containment of potential. So this is a forward moving energy of our Facebook group and conscious collaboration. And it's the energy of mountain above and sky below. So that's interesting. And that paints a very interesting dynamic of that mountain energy above the sky. So when I'm looking at these hexagrams, I see there's a ton of change lines, meaning this is normal for us in the beginning of a launch stage to have a lot of changing energy. So what I'm really picking up on is we need engagement to be able to help us create this group to be at its greatest potential for everyone who's coming inside. So this is going to start off as a pretty exclusive invite. So if you get this invite, jump on in and start inviting your friends. So this energy of holding together, I'm going to start from the heavens or the divine influence. And we want to hear if this resonates with you. If you're feeling called to learn a little bit more about this energy, then you're someone who should be in our group for sure. So difficulties arise when matters are not begun properly. Even with a good beginning, problems are inevitable. Without a sound beginning, however, the problems that arise may become unsurmountable fairly quickly. Being careful from the beginning to establish a good foundation avoids wasting time and energy on corrections later on. So there's so much importance placed in creating this community from a great place of intention. And so as much as we love what we're creating, as much as we love what we're doing together as a group, we really need to hear from the listeners. Mm-hmm. And that needs to be our foundations.
Mm-hmm. So the interaction of all the other energies and all the other collaborations.
Exactly. So this is going to be really just a safe space to let in everybody where they are, no matter where they are in their journey. And then our duty as the conscious collaboration is to respond. We're going to have less difficulties if we allow this to be a strong foundation that's formed in this organic way.
I think you can take that advice outside of the Facebook group into any new venture as well. Like start from a strong foundation.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's not going to be without problems, but as long as you start from a strong foundation, then you're going to be much better equipped to handle this problem.
And it talks about what we talk about all the time. Beginnings can be a little bit challenging. It takes a while to get that momentum going.
First year of business, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So a beneficial union is in the offing. There would be good fortune if you were careful not to force things. So again, going from a very organic place and movement, let the people come and go. If it resonates, stay. If it doesn't, this isn't the place, and that's fine. And Facebook's not the place for everyone either, but what we create can be a totally unique and safe space, even if Facebook isn't someone's thing. Let that be an idea too, that it is what we make it. It may be a time to align yourself with someone near the center of things. And again, I believe this is our listener base. Mm-hmm. So moving towards more the human and earthly realm, this is a time for loyalty. Show your support of those in leadership positions as long as you can provide it without compromising your own integrity. People find themselves inside various circles of friends and professional relations, and it is critical to strike the right balance with each. So while we are creating this circle of conscious collaborators and also sharing the energy of ours, it's saying right here, be open and intimate and social in a casual way. So really allowing that vulnerability within this group to shine. So maybe there's things within this group that we don't share in our podcast that's unique.
Mm-hmm.
Developing strong relationships with weak or dishonest characters will diminish your position. So again, really upholding and having a strong, we need to have a safe, like rules within the group that we don't allow certain things to happen, that people can feel safe to share their ideas and be open in return. So I think as moderators of the group, it's within our duty to make sure that we have that structure in place as well. Sincerity is the foundation of all successful relationships.
Yes.
In a thirsty world, it is not the form of the water's container that matters, it's the content.
It's a thirsty world out there.
All right.
Isn't that the truth? So I really like this. And this is feeling like it's painting the picture of a Facebook group conversation. I know a lot of these ideas can carry outward into other areas of our lives. And that's what's really cool about the I Ching, because it allows us to remove our ego. And when you set your intentions, so not allowing anything else to leak in and really focus in on what we were divining of, we're able to come up with things, with action plans that aren't being influenced by things that we might normally gravitate towards. Like, we have to hold on launching this until it's perfectly pretty, just like all the other Facebook groups. When in fact, in this case, it might be better to launch it unfinished and then finish it with the intentions of the group that resides in it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it messy.
Do it messy.
Have a good foundation, but don't be a perfectionist.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just do it. Take
Mhm.
action.
Love it.
So the containment of potential is the changing energy, the immediate future. This points to the command and control of great power, a power that increases as it is wisely stewarded. You have considerable reserves of energy and support to draw upon. That's true. And this is an excellent time to nurture creativity by collecting and organizing your best ideas and plans.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Collaborative idea collection increases your own creativity if you're open to ideas from others.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, even large and difficult undertakings can be successful. So I really feel like I've just heard the word think tank too.
Oh.
So if this is truly a safe place, this can become a think tank for not just us, but also our listeners to share those seedlings of ideas.
Change makers and thought leaders.
Those change makers and thought leaders, come on in. If you have a seedling, if you need some, insight, some guidance, we can explore that doing some I Ching. We can talk about how we can align that energy with your body and then outwardly into your space. And I think also there's that connection piece that misses a little bit in a podcast where listeners can't see us, right? So there might be a unique experience in being able to share that visibility, as we're talking about being a little bit more vulnerable within this. Should it be a closed and private group to keep it safe?
Yes.
What do you guys think? Yes. Yeah. Keep it closed and private. We'll allow our listeners to invite people who fit. And then, yeah, I love that too. So it says, good fortune comes to those who unearth such valuable treasures by applying the lessons of the ages to their current situation. Ooh, yeah. The lives of wise and successful men and women are like treasures buried in the earth. So that's the treasures, is the experiences of people's wisdom.
Yeah, that's great.
Which I think is going to speak even further to the quality that we're going to have in the people within the group. I can see maybe even breaking off into smaller sections, whether it be there's product developers or people who want to come up with non-for-profit. So maybe perhaps there's different guided sections within the group eventually, once we get everybody in there and see what if they're service oriented or in the arts. So I'm really excited about this. And I think, no more hesitation on trying to be super polished with our imagery and all of that. It's more the idea and the energy that we put into sharing a little bit more about our concept of conscious collaboration in a bigger way, expanding our conscious collaboration circle beyond this power of 3 that we have, and see what we can do.
Yeah, because I don't think we can even begin to imagine what can be created once we multiply the collaboration.
Yeah, we know the power of intention and the multiplication effect of it. So if we do indeed create this safe space where people can be vulnerable, they can share, we can inject from our personal wisdom and experience, and big things can happen in a great way.
For sure. And I think the cards that you drew definitely speak to all the ideas of creating a group based on collaboration. And I'm really excited for some other projects that we've got in the works as well.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. We cannot reveal all just yet, but there will be some creations, collaborative, of course, that put together all of our strengths in a tangible item that people can work with and use to create more.
Yeah. And I also think that there'll most likely, be future opportunities for mentorship types of things from the 3 of us as a collaboration, helping other people in certain areas of business, depending on where they're at. So definitely stay tuned for that too, to develop as we grow the group.
For sure. And, we'll just some treats for you guys too, maybe some yoga classes, or meditation or breath work, and more readings, and, plant ideas and all sorts of things in the works that I'm really excited to present.
Yeah. I also, while you both were talking, I was thinking also sharing a little bit more of real day in the life kind of situations that, we can just pop on in, check in with everybody, because what's really cool is when we pop in on a live and share something a day in the life, I bet it resonates with a good portion of the collective.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely. I think that would be great. So, well, I think that this is all going to be awesome, and we're excited to take you guys on this journey. I know that this was a little bit different this time, but we're looking at all different types of content and ways to bring it to you guys. And this group will also help us with that as well. So please, we will be doing an episode here soon. We are getting some emails. So we're going to do a fun episode regarding some of the emails we received, answering questions. But please continue to write in. And once we get the group up and going, then you'll have the freedom to ask us right then and there. So
yeah, and definitely let us know in our DMs or in our email if you are interested and ready to join the group, and we'll make sure that you are one of the first to get the link.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, ladies. Well, this was a little fun, short and sweet time with you. I hope you have a good week, and talk to you in 5 minutes.
Talk to you in 5 minutes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment.
mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.